I'm Deep Mahaman and you're watching the Redmen TV.
Hello and welcome to a special from us. It's how the Liverpool rediscover their attacking flair. I'm joined by Aubrey Reynolds, the man of the moment, basically because Paul's not here. Sorry, Aubrey.
Yeah.
So I ask you the question and I'm going to pop a man straight on there. How do we rediscover our attacking flair, mate?
Well, firstly, hopefully it solves itself when this guy comes back, because he's brilliant. He's a great striker. I think he's in terms of out-and-out strikers, I think he's the best striker in the Premier League.
Wow.
Because you've got, I don't really count Aguero as an out-and-out striker. So you've got your flair players and your players who play around the number 10s. In number 9s, I'd have him over anyone if he was fit, because his ratio is just insane, and the types of goals he scores. He's got an endeavour, and he's got chip on his shoulder, which I like in a striker, definitely an attacker. He wants to prove that he's good. I think he had a chip on his shoulder because he was brilliant, but we loved Suarez because Suarez was that a little bit better. You could argue
he wanted
Suarez
to be the main guy, didn't he? He was the main guy.
He's got the chance to be the main guy now, but he's also, people forgotten about him, and he's seen Benteke come in for big money, so he's got more to prove, but he's not back yet. And we've got loads of football to play before he comes back. And I don't want to watch us be turgid and rubbish up front anymore. So we need to figure it out, okay, which doesn't include this guy.
Who are you putting up top? Let's start with the forward. Wow,
okay.
You didn't see Sinclair there, but he just fell and landed on the board himself. Like, he actually got it in shot. Amazeballs.
If he can do skills like that, maybe he's going up top. It's got to be Benteke, the guy you've got in the hand, because...
Where is he though? Is he on his own? Is he part of a pairing?
Personally, I think he needs a partner.
Okay, so he's going on the left-hand side because he's the big man and footy manager dictator. The big man goes on the left and the fat guy goes on the right.
Yeah, because that's not at all... That's football logic and not at all to do with OCD.
No,
on your behalf.
Pretty much, yeah.
But we've paid so much money for him. Yeah. He scored a worldie. It's the one moment that was any good in the United game. And he's got to play, because who else is going to play instead of him? So it's all about finding him a partner. And I personally think, I don't think this is for now, but I think going forward, it's this guy.
Okay, because
he's also a really expensive signing, and he's...
Well, there's £60 million worth of talent there.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing with Roberto Firmino is it's great that he can track back, and it's great that he's willing to do that. I want him to score some fucking goals because we paid 29 million for him, and that's what strikers and forwards and wingers are there to do.
Exactly.
Ultimately.
This is Brazil at the moment. This is Brazil's main guy up front. Now, they play a different formation to us, and he doesn't play alongside someone like that with Benteke. But if he's getting up there for Brazil, and Brazil got humiliated in that World Cup in the Germany game, and they're rebuilding, and if they're putting stock and faith, they don't... Come on, Brazil's a big country, and they've got a lot of players they can call on, and they're putting them there. They're not putting them there. They're not telling him to do Williams' job and track back. They're telling him, go out there and express yourself and be creative. So I've got confidence that if the shackles are removed from him and he's played further up the field, in time, getting him as match fitness he can. And what it also allows you to do is it allows you to get this fella on the pitch with him.
Okay.
And in a 2, so it's obviously we're going to be a 4-4-2 diamond, because that's the only real way we've ever seen Rodgers play with 2 up front, and the only really way we can get the 2 strikers on the pitch. Coutinho gets to be on the pitch with us, mate.
Yeah. And
they've got a good relationship and they've got a good understanding. Also, if
we need to see that on the pitch, though.
But we need to.
Fairness, we do. We've not seen that.
We've not seen it for Liverpool. We've not seen it yet. The other thing is, I'm a firm believer that when you go in so generic as not for a specific match, what do we play? Play your best players. Find a formation that gets your best players to be on the pitch. And I think because you've just said £60 million, and he's shown enough. He's been isolated, but he's shown enough to show that he's a decent striker, and his Premiership history has shown that these 3 of our best players in attacking terms. So you get them on the pitch. Whether that has to become something more like that, I don't know.
But, I'll tell you what. Let's continue building this, and let's go through what your midfield would be to rediscover our prowess in front of goal.
Okay, so if he was fit, you would obviously have them 2 on the pitch.
Yeah.
Because...
And then, just for the sake of argument, I don't know whether we're going to be in shot here, so I'm waiting for some word off Tom. Who's your defensive midfielder in that?
It's difficult.
It is difficult. Is it Chan, Allen?
It's a tough choice. Chan, Allen or Lucas. I think in a 4-4-2, even though I'm not his biggest fan, it has to be him. Because I don't think Chan and Allen have got the discipline to do it as well as he does. Yeah. And if your midfield is Hendo and Milner, you've got all your running. Allen and Chan are very similar to them, and I think it's three players who are too similar to each other in that. A lot of people, a hell of a lot of people would want that, because it's and a kind of counterpoint to what I've just said, which is to get your best players on the pitch. I don't know.
You need to have balance at the same time, though.
Of course, yeah. And I don't know enough about them as a free. The only way you're going to see that is by them playing, but obviously it's kind of a moot point anyway, because this fella's injured for now.
Yeah.
So in the short term, I think it has to become that.
Okay.
As a midfield.
I think you're right there.
With the possible, we've discussed
a
few times, Lallana becoming a midfielder. And I don't know, I think maybe that is too attacking. It's because this fella's not got the discipline yet for me to trust that when he goes off and starts controlling the game around here, is this guy going to want to sit, or is he going to get really excited and want to carry on over there, and suddenly you're leaving our defence without that anchor?
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to roll it on slightly before the board falls down on me. I am going to go out there and go, right, let's go back to what you had it. Let's say you've got Chan in defensive midfielder. I think if you've got Chan in defensive midfielder, that denotes that Gomez plays the left-hand side.
Yeah.
I think if you've got Lucas Leiva as defensive midfielder, I think Moreno can play the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Because what I'm thinking about here is that I'm not asked about defending at this point. I want to go to football and want to see some good fucking games. I want to see us score some fucking goals. And the only way for us to get forwards more is in this formation with the diamond. I think it's imperative that these guys move on a lot more. You know, so you've got Nathaniel Klein attacking down one wing, and you've got Moreno down the left-hand side. Now, look, defensively, I don't rate Moreno. I never have rated Moreno defensively. You can go back and watch from when we signed him, and I've always said I don't rate him defensively. But going forward, he's got something good. He built up an understanding last season with Sacco. There was himself, of course, and Phil Coutinho. And when they moved it in triangles down the left-hand side, we were really good going forwards, you know, and that was more when we played three at the back, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So for me, if we want to rediscover our attacking flair, I think Moreno's got to be a left-back, and then Klein's got to be a right-back. I think Lucas has to be in there because he is terrible defensively. Yeah. But then I think, you know what? Get fucking Lallana in there until Henderson comes back. Get him in there and get Firmino on the pitch. I give Ings a start in the Europa League, as we've already talked about, because I think he deserves it. But this, for me, is the 8 players that I want on the field, and I want them working in little triangles around each other. I want them, I want them to fill this space in the midfield, and then us to overload on either side, because one thing we need to do more of is get some fucking crosses in for Christian Benteke.
Yeah. So then, just to be a bit devil's advocate,
he doesn't even fit in my squad now if we're playing that formation.
Yeah. but he is arguably the best winger we've got, because he's the only winger we've got.
Yeah. I don't think there's an argument to be had about it. I think he is.
This fella's been brilliant. He's come in and he's settled really, really well, and he's a good player. But if you're talking about getting back to 2 seasons ago where we outscored the opposition, because ultimately if what the brand of football that we've been playing the whole of the season, I was taking wins when they were pragmatic, because we were hoping that we're going to get back to good performances. But then if it's going to get dropped in with 3-0 defeats to other teams, I want us to get beat 4-3, and then I want us to win 4-3, and I want us to win one game 3-1.
At least we can enjoy the
because at least there's a few goals to watch. So it might come back to throwing your most attacking players onto the pitch and trying to find that. So I think there is room for him if it's all about getting crosses into the box and stuff. But I wouldn't be as brave to say he suddenly becomes our right back, or to advocate that we go to 3 at the back.
Yeah, I mean 3 at the back's an interesting shout actually, because you can get him in at right wing back, although I still think Klein would be a better option at right wing back.
What do you do with an England international who's been really, really good, who you've paid good money for?
You play Skirtle as the centre back, you play him as the right centre back.
Which we know
when
he did it, he tried Johnson originally. The very first time he did the back 3 was Johnson was in as the right side. It was
we'll roll that onto there actually, because we're gonna do it now, looking at the defensive side of things, because I think it's actually really interesting what we've just sort of hit upon there. So we're going to go and we're going to bin off Lovren. Bogdan's there. What's it? This is what I would do in that situation. Where's that fucking mad face? There it is. And there's a couple of reasons for this, I suppose. Where's Moreno? Let's get him in there, right? Now, I think with this, we're playing 2 up top, aren't we?
Yeah.
But most importantly for me, is Jordan Ag doesn't have as much defensive responsibility. Because one thing, let's say Skirtle's playing there, and the ball comes out to the right-hand side, look at that, right? You don't want to see him over here. No. But are you asked if Nathaniel Klein's over there?
Not at all.
Because that's where he fucking plays anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I think, actually, you know what? I was going to write off free at the back, but it's actually becoming now the formation I'm more comfortable with the players we have at our disposal at the moment.
So let's finish this. Let's move it up a little bit because we're tight on camera space.
Okay.
So who do you then?
Well, let's go the other way round to just fill in the gaps. You do that because you know that they're definitely on the pitch, and you know
how far down have we got, Tom? Here a bit more.
So we know that because there's no way you're binning off that front three.
Yeah.
And you've kind of arranged your back. So you've got 2 more players to drop in.
And Milner goes there.
So that's a definite. And again, the ubiquitous Henderson's fit. Henderson's in there. But
I actually feel a bit more comfortable with that then.
Yeah. And I think that looks to me interesting at least.
Yes, I'd not considered it until we started talking this through, but that is a formation.
Because what I like
it's got
about
a bit more balance to it, hasn't it?
Yeah, what I like about it is it puts an onus on this fella to do what he does best, which is get forward and run at the team with pace and put crosses in. It allows this fella to do exactly the same, which we know it's worked in the Premier League that he feeds on crosses, and these 2 players can give him crosses. You've got your Rodgers-style fluidity of Coutinho and Firmino interchanging and just allowing them to kind of just make their... I want other teams to be worried about us as opposed to constantly being worried about what they're doing with them.
We're doing it now. We've done the formation show on the redmentv.com, and all we've spoken about is how worried we are about Liverpool. We're doing it.
Yeah.
You know, other teams would be like... We'll just turn up and roll over them like it's not a problem.
And then you've got your nice pace and balance and movement. They can come in and cover. We know it'd probably be more like that, wouldn't it? Just because he's played the right side at centre half, and he's played right back for Germany. So again, in exactly the same as you said, let's just say he's bombed on, but the ball's come over and he's been caught out. You've got Chan, who's played the right side at centre half before, or the right back, and Klein's the same. So I'd be confident in them 2 coming over to pretty much. You're going to have to do a worldie. You're going to have to be one of the best players in the league, you know, like, and be 2 good players to get in there. It gets this guy on the pitch.
Yeah.
It gets this
More
guy.
Importantly, it gets Lovren off.
It gets Lovren off the pitch. Yeah, because Lovren's never going there.
Well, he's a much better centre-back in a 3 anyway.
Yeah.
When he's just freed of responsibilities and he can just go over and make fucking last-ditch tackles, I think he's actually really good. And this is really important because at some point we're going to need to settle on a position for this man.
Yeah.
He's already our best player, and we're playing him in different positions in every fucking game. It's insane. Like, you need to have your best player at least in their best position because he's not there yet. He's not world class yet, but he's close and he needs to be played over and over again in the same position.
It puts a massive onus on him to become the fulcrum of the team.
Yes, it does.
And everything, like, look, it's practically an arrow just pointing towards the sex pot, saying, run it through him. And I don't think there's any Liverpool fan. There'll be a lot of Liverpool fans who are unhappy, a lot of Liverpool fans who are only unhappy because of the last result. Liverpool fans questioning the manager, Liverpool fans saying give him time. There's not one Liverpool fan out there who doesn't think that everything that we do well shouldn't go through this lad.
It's true.
You know, he's the best player at the club. He's, like you say, bordering on world class. And if we're going to be positive and attacking, it needs to go through this guy.
Okay. Now Sturridge comes back fit.
Okay. So, well, in a dream scenario, this has been flying.
Yeah.
We've hit on this. Everyone's happy, and we've been winning.
Roger's hit on it from watching this
this show. Yeah. We'll text them after, but we'll send them.
Okay, I'm gonna do something.
Yeah.
And this will fucking kill all of yous. And it'll kill Firmino as well. He doesn't want to play right wing back. Have you seen that?
It was far too much work already in the first game.
You know, What about that?
No. It depends. It honestly depends on how his performances have been. I'm sorry, you can't see that. I'm pointing to him. If he's been amazing, you don't bomb him out because I think he's more naturally he's more naturally inclined to defend than Firmino would be. What I think you'd really get. Yeah,
this is Rodgers we're talking about here.
Well,
it's as likely as he plays right wing back as right back.
If that's what we're talking about. But no, essentially, right. I think what
It's just left back.
What it really gets you.
Now he's stuck without a fucking magnet.
Where's he gone?
Jesus, Firmino.
What it gives you
These fucking
is
magnets, man. You just can't get the fucking.
here we go. I'm gonna get 2 points. So you said Sturridge has come back.
Yeah,
Right.
He's flying. He's scoring 10 goals. in one game.
We're scoring. We're flying with Firmino there.
Yeah.
What it gives you is this. It gives you this fella to come in for 20 minutes, 30 minutes in a match, and not do what we did to him last season, which was throw him back in when he wasn't ready and put so much pressure on him and kill him. So you've got that option. What it also gives you is give you a chance to give this guy a break because you play Firmino there.
Yes, I like it.
It gives you the fluidity of I want us when we play Watford or Leicester or Villa at home to possibly go with Firmino there and have as many attacking players on the pitch, because the other thing is we've got 2 big players who are out. This guy,
Yep.
again, we hit upon this, it's working,
Switch them, I think. Them
and then
that.
Henderson can come back. But it means you don't have to throw him straight away.
Yeah.
You've also got the chance that he'll have played a hell of a lot of football. He's
He's had like 3 years off.
And he's one of the older players in the squad though, so it gives you the chance to rotate there.
I can't keep up with you.
And you're suddenly looking
he's
at
flying, isn't he?
You're suddenly
the Tinker Man.
Claudio Ranieri, watch out. Mahrez, we need
Wait,
Mahrez.
that's it, we need Mahrez. That's
But you're looking at it and
how the Liverpool rediscovered their attack and flair
by Mahrez 2 weeks ago.
But you want balls on the table, we're running over. What's the formation to get us goals?
I think it's 3 at the back.
Wow.
I didn't.
I've convinced myself as well.
I've managed to do an amazing job of convincing you and me. I had no idea
So
we were going to go there.
Who is where then? Firmino?
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Firmino, like, you know what I mean? He's a fucking... he's a diva. He's a fucking diva is what he is.
He's the furthest up the pitch of everyone. Which is how we want him.
That's it.
That's the metaphor that we need. Don't be doing like you did.
He said, don't put me at right wing back and I want to play down here.
Boss, play me down here, boss.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So this is it.
I think
this
that's
is the
it.
formation.
I think that's...
Alright,
well,
if you agree, you probably won't comment. But if you disagree, I'm damn sure you will. So let me know in the comment section whether you think this is the formation.
Or just the work of a madman.
Yeah, the musings of 2 crazy people who do this. You didn't watch the formation show on the redmentv.com, but we talked about tangible, invisible wires and the fact that we would be using them. You can't see them, but we can feel them. They're here. Let us know in the comment section what you think about tangible, invisible wires. And of course, do let us know your comments on the side, whether you think it'll be 3 at the back to somehow rediscover our attack and flair, whether it's 4-2-3-1, whether it's 4-3-3, whether it's we just get rid of fucking Brendan Rodgers, or of course whether it's the 4-2-3-1. We'll be in the comment section for about an hour after the video goes live. So do check out the rest of the content on the channel as well. Don't forget to watch the Uncensored match build-up show for Bordeaux with Neil Poole and Ian Newbury. And there's fucking shit tons on the website this week. We've been very busy, boys.
Everybody's looking at that group. It's Ruben Kazan, Bordeaux and Sion. And they're saying, right, we should win that group. Yeah. Right? But right now, none of us have got any confidence that we're going to win that group.
But then, as you could take a step back and look at an even bigger picture and say, okay, we get 4th this year. We have another injection of cash.
How are we going to do that?
We have another injection of cash. Do you trust Rodgers again to go and get the next level player?
Well, if he gets 4th, I would trust him to spend it. Yeah.